I've included some extra examples. For example, mocking with open. I'll leave you to go kind of through the wiring of all of that. One that's quite useful is the DB mock, because this is another example of where we're kind of splitting up the creation of the DB, the functions that call the DB, and then when we're doing our tests, what do we actually reference? Do we reference the create DB, or do we create this db.py here? And in these examples, we're just sort of going through various different things of patching the correct function for each of them. So for example, in this one here, when we want to test fetching data from the DB, we really only need to go into the DB because this is where it's called, not where it is defined. Here are all the definitions of the SQL queries, or setting up the SQL. Here is where we're actually testing getting data back using those functions. So when we come to our test DB and we want to get data from the database, where we need to patch is in DB, not create DB. And this is apparently the most common issue people have is, where do you patch when things are split into different files? Where do you reference? Is it DB or is it create DB? And these examples, combined with the rest here that I've collected and I've acknowledged the sources, go really through all of these different things of how you reference. So it's best to kind of go through that and play around with the wiring, break it, and then seeing how it actually works. So there's a number of different examples with a link to the original source.